Topic number one, White House warns of large number of victims of Microsoft hack. We touched on this last week, but more stories have been circulating, and it's essentially Microsoft's email servers got hacked.
So I think a point of clarity is Microsoft disclosed that their Exchange server had a 0-day vulnerability that was being exploited on a massive scale. So Exchange is typically run by a company, could be run by an individual, but typically run by a company. And hackers were en masse taking over Exchange servers. So I don't think anyone with a Live or a Hotmail email account have anything to worry about. But a lot of businesses certainly do.
That should be all the personal email addresses should be part of Microsoft's cloud commercial server, which I'm sure is totally secure. And I bet all those politicians that are running their own private non-Outlook servers are laughing now. But their message was, if your organization is running their own OWA, assume compromise between, I think it was the middle of February and an early date in March.
Wasn't the DNC email server an Exchange server? Wasn't the RNC email server the one that Bush famously used for years, an Exchange server?
It might have been. I don't know if Hillary's private server, if she was just running Exchange for herself. I don't know the details there.
I'm pretty certain that was an Exchange server because there were in-depth details about how to delete emails from that server.
I can tell you, think of every public school district in the United States for starters, and then almost every major business.
Yeah, the point on this is regardless if it's Exchange or the Linux Unix equivalent of SendMail, for decades now, email servers is probably the hardest thing to get right and secure. There are so many holes and so many moving parts that you have to nail to make it secure. It's very hard to host an email server correctly. So not surprised this was an entryway at all. Actually, from the article, it looked like there were several 0 days. So I don't doubt that it is a state actor. 0 days are very, very valuable, very hard to find. So
does this affect like just regular everyday users? Should anybody who's listening to this podcast and doesn't work in security, should they be worried? I mean, everything is worrisome these days.
If your work is hosting its own Exchange server, you should probably ask your admin what's up.
If you just have a live.com or an outlook.com personal email address, likely not. If your business is running their own Exchange server, probably your admin is dealing with it right now.
I would expect every hospital, every regional hospital to be vulnerable to this. And you think about all the COVID data that's been being stolen by all of these and the disinformation campaigns that are going out. I think we could see a whole new series of break-ins that would have major HIPAA implications as well.